Hello, YouTube. Thanks for tapping on that thumbnail today and either joining me live or joining me on the replay, whichever. My name's Elizabeth. I'm an addict in recovery who back in 2017 began using the spiritual laws and principles such as the law of attraction to begin overcoming my obsessions and begin living a life of prosperity and abundance, and you can too. So if you're an addict, and I don't care what the addiction is, but if you've got an addictive personality like me, please subscribe, because not only can you overcome, will you overcome, but because of your addiction, believe it or not, or your addictive personality, you are more of a go-getter, you are more special, you are more talented, you are just more than you can ever imagine. And here on this channel, we develop your moreness. First thing you gotta do is take accountability. And that's why the name of my channel is Self-Created Life. It's because you really do create your own life. And so when you change that conversation happening up here, stop blaming your circumstances, stop being a victim. Believe it or not, your life can change very, very quickly. That being said, if you are a previous subscriber, then you're probably aware that every once in a while I can get on my little tangents about injustices in the world. And that's what I'm going to do today. But today I titled the video, the smartest thing to do with your stimulus check, because I am going to talk about that. I do want that to be kind of the central theme of what the video is about. I want to keep it on a positive note. But there's a lot going on right now that's not so positive. And here's the one thing that we can't do, right? Sorry, I think I lost you the popcorn. Popcorn kernel on my tooth. Sorry about that. It's live, honey. I can't edit it out. It is what it is. But before I start getting into the topic, as promised, I do want to first say thank you to a Sergio Chen, who is one of my most recent subscribers. Thank you, Sergio, for joining my tribe and, making sure that you left a comment and let me know that you did so. And, be sure to, anytime you're watching any of my videos, any of my subscribers, please, if the message impacts you in any way, please share it. This is how we make the world a better place, is getting these messages out there. And my videos, my messages, usually they are super important. I mean, it's my goal to help raise the vibration of this planet. But I can't do it without your help. So please share it. Please give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you like it, so they put my videos in the recommendeds. And of course, subscribe. So, and always come back. When you see my upload, tap and watch all the way through. Please. All right. So, that's enough of that. Shameless plug. So, I want to talk about the things that we can do, because I'm seeing, it's just crazy. It's just Like, when are the people of the United States of America, when are we actually going to get our country back? We're not going to get our country back until we not only become educated about what's going on, the things that are going on, about, our country has literally been hijacked from the people. Our founding fathers wrote the Constitution, and later on the Bill of Rights, to protect the people, to make sure that the people of this country were always the ones in power, and that the government was supposed to be our civil servants. And this coronavirus shit is a perfect example of the way the American people, the way it's just treachery. It's just absolute treachery, okay? They gave us one stimulus check, right? In the beginning, which was great. But over in Europe, right away, they were given 6 months of $3,000 checks. Was it 6? Yeah. 6 months, $3,000 a month. They got it right off rip, okay? There was no way they were going to let their economy go in the dipper over this virus. Canada, right away, gave its people $1,400 a month, right off rip, for 4 months. No ifs, ands, or buts. No Democrats fighting the Republicans. See, that's something that they don't have, right? There's no two parties at play, okay? In Europe and in Canada, They've got, the king and the queen, and that's it. In Canada, I don't even know. It's like socialism or something over there. I need to do my research on that. But there's no Republicans and there's no Democrats. At least I don't think so. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's just a trip to hear things like Pat Toomey, some senator. I didn't even write down where he was from because I think it's like, I don't know, Idaho, I don't know. Pat Toomey is his name. Google him, Pat Toomey. Said that people were getting checks whose work were not jeopardized, such as people on Social Security and SSI and all that stuff, right? So he doesn't want to give checks to our elderly people who have worked their lives, decades of their lives, and now live on pennies, live on shit. Some of them as low as $700 a month they're expected to live on. Most, Social Security checks are $1,400 a month. Some of them, you've got $2,500. I've never heard of a $4,000 a month Social Security check, which is damn sure pretty much what it takes to actually live and get by, okay? Especially as a retiree who should be able to enjoy their life a little bit. Yeah, $4K minimum per month is what they should be getting. But that's not even close to what's happening. And here's a senator, right, who at last investigation or last reporting or whatever was worth a little over $5 million. And I think this was a couple of years ago. Okay? So you're out of touch with reality. You're getting $174,000 a year salary for being on the Senate, being a senator, and you don't understand that maybe some old people did have a little job at the grocery store or whatever to earn a little extra income because their Social Security check only covers their medicine, maybe, if that. And because they're elderly, they were much more at risk of getting coronavirus, so they're the first ones to lose their little job. But you don't think that they should get... Okay. All right. This is not even close to done yet. Okay. John Corwin wants to reduce taxes and royalties for major oil corporations. Okay, he wants to make it a little bit easier on the oil companies because of COVID. The poor oil companies, they've been impacted. People weren't driving, and oh my gosh, they couldn't sell gas for a couple weeks. And we've got to give them a break. But when it comes to Americans who need the basics to live, he doesn't think we should get another stimulus check. Not us. You need food. You need to pay your rent. You need to get by this week. You need to not be out on the street. Tough shit. But the big oil moguls are, you poor baby. You poor baby. Let's give you a tax break. Okay? Since March, these bastards have been taking a 2-week vacation every single month, while the rest of the country is in absolute and total crisis, okay? Who was it that asked for this? Roy Blunt has been asking now for funding for a vaccine. We're on COVID-19. We're not on COVID-1. We're on COVID-19. That means there's been a COVID-1, a COVID-2, a COVID-3, COVID-4, COVID-5, COVID-6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's been a lot of COVIDs. They've been cooking it up in a lab. The president and the White House and all the bigwigs in our government have already been vaccinated. They already have they had a vaccine for this virus before they let it out into our society. And if you don't believe that, you better do some research and open your eyeballs. They've had the vaccine. Yes, they need to get it out to the people. Personally, I would like the vaccine to not be under government control because I don't trust them in whatever else they're putting in our vaccine, because I want to know, why did you release this COVID on us in the first place? So that you could create a vaccine, so that you could cause people to need a vaccine. What is it that you're wanting to do to us? Because I don't trust you. I don't trust you people. Okay? In power. Not you people, not we people, not we the people. I love we the people. I want we the people to have this to have our power back. You know, and this is kind of off topic, but not really. I have my own traffic ticket thing going on right now, and let me tell you something. I got this ticket back in December, and even before the COVID thing hit, I've been having to drive from Charlotte all the way to Shelby, North Carolina, where I got the ticket because I was traveling for the Christmas vacation when I got the ticket. So I'm having to go to another city. Thank God it was another state. So I'm having to travel just to go, just for them to continue it, okay? The very first time I went, it wasn't an arraignment, but it was so weird. I go in and they had me go into another room where there's this police officer sitting up like on a judge's bench, and he asked me whether I want an attorney or I'm gonna plead today or what I'm gonna do, which is not an arraignment. He just was asking me. And I said, no, I don't want an attorney. And he right away hands me this piece of paper and says, okay, if you're going to waive an attorney, you're just going to sign this, and you're going to hand it to the prosecution and the clerks on your way out. Well, as I'm reading it, it doesn't just say that I'm waiving my right to a court-appointed attorney. It actually says that I have been informed of the nature and the causes of the charges against me, which I had not been. But it says I've been informed, and that I waive all my rights. And I was the only one out of the other 20 or 30 people that were there with me that day. Everybody else just signed it and handed it over. No problem. Not a question, not a thought, just signed it because they told them to. You need to sign this and give it to us on your way out. And I said, well, wait a minute. I don't want to waive my rights. You haven't told me the nature and the cause of the action against me. And they did sit there and read the charges to me, once we finally got into the room, but they didn't actually give me, anyway, I'm not going to get into all that because that's a totally another video. But at any rate, I'm going to maintain my rights. Thank you very much. So the judge that day let me scratch everything else out on there, and I actually wrote, I do not voluntarily submit myself to the authority of your little monkey court here, your little dog and pony show. And I actually wrote that on there and gave it to them. And 4 times, gone back and forth from Charlotte, taking a day off work each time from Charlotte to Shelby, just for them to say, continue it. I haven't even had an arraignment yet. Finally go yesterday. And here's another thing about due process. They say that the ticket is enough to send you to court, but actually a police officer is not a court official. And in order for someone to take you to court, you're supposed to be properly served. Every time they continued it, they never gave me proper service. They handed me a little piece of paper with a date on it. They didn't even have me verify who I was when I came in the courtroom. Oh, are you Elizabeth Holmes? Okay. All right. Anyway, it's just so crazy. So I go to court, and finally yesterday, before the judge even comes in the room, the prosecutor's asking me how I want to plea. I'm like, is this are we gonna have an arraignment? And I asked her, I'm like, are we ever gonna have an arraignment? I've been here 4 times. I've not even been arraigned yet. And yet you're asking me how I want to plea, and you're wanting me to make a deal with you. The judge isn't even in the room. And you're I thought I pled to it. I didn't know I pled to you. And in open court, she's asking me this. People listening. I don't really care to, But anyway, judge finally does get in the room. And she tells the judge, we didn't have a very, what did she say? Anyway, she was basically saying that our conversation didn't go very well, and she said it very we didn't have a very good conversation. because I didn't want to plead to you? And because I asked if we were going to have an arraignment? Like, so already you're giving the judge like a little wink, wink, like, wink, wink, like this one, she's going to be a pain in our ass type thing. 14th Amendment says I have a right to a fair and impartial judge. In traffic court, the judge confers with the prosecution right there in open court. The officer who gives you the ticket, okay, they're trying to charge me with a crime. They're trying to make it criminal. If it's criminal, bring forth the injured party. Who's the injured party? In order for there to be a crime, there has to be an injured party. Oh, well, you're under the statutes and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well, then tell me, how do the statutes apply to me? Because statutes and codes are actually relevant to maritime law, which is international law, which means I either have to be involved in an international contract or I need to be a federal employee, or, you know, something has to relate me to the statutes and the codes. Now, my 6th Amendment, right, gives me the right to know the nature and the cause of the actions against me, which, again, they think by just reading my charges that that's telling me that, but that's not actually, it's half of it. And due process is also that you have the right to be heard in court. So when I get up in front of the judge, she starts to ask me, well, what are we doing today? Are we running our, okay, how you want to play? I said, well, Your Honor, first, before I can enter a plea, I would like to ask a few questions. No, we're not going to have any questions. Nope. I just need to hear guilty, not guilty, and well, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I need to know if there's even, you know, authority for me to, if this court has the authority over me to ask me to be here, and I just have a few questions just for clarification. I mean, I could not get 3 words out of my mouth. And this bitch, I'm so furious. And I don't know the judge's name because they change judges every time, but I'm going to find out her name. Down at this North Carolina, Shelby, Cleveland County Courthouse. Has the fucking audacity. It's probably too early for me to be talking about this. Because yeah. She has the audacity to say to me, you're not going to waste this court's time. I've got other cases to get to, and I don't have time for this. Now, let me just say this as well, is that I was the last one to be called up. The whole fucking courtroom was empty. And this is because I had already sent the prosecuting attorney an abatement at common law and had filed certain paperwork. So they already knew what was coming. They already knew that I was claiming my status that day, and that I was maintaining my unalienable rights that day in court. They didn't want anybody else to hear it. I wasn't allowed to take my cell phone into court. You're not allowed to take any recording material into the courts. Why are they able to get away with that? They're doing shady shit, and you're not even allowed to take recording equipment in to protect yourself from the shady shit that's going on. Okay? So, I was the last one there, and she's telling me, I don't have time, I got another case to get to. And I'm like, there's no one fucking here, lady. And you got the audacity. You people have I've already missed 4 days of work, driven my car an hour this way and an hour that way to an entire other county for you people to continue it. I've sat here every time for a couple of hours, right? And now I get up and I have the audacity to want to ask a question, and you don't want me to waste your fucking time? Are you serious? You, my public servant, me, they tell us that we have all these rights, people, and we have nothing. This is the thing. And so my due process, they fucking steamrolled me. They fucking steamrolled me. And she said, if you try to open your mouth one more time, unless it's guilty, not guilty, you know, basically what she wanted me to say, that they were throwing me out of the courtroom. And she basically accused me of being unable to make a decision, like I was incompetent. And even though I objected to her giving me a court-appointed attorney, because I don't need a I could fucking get an attorney if I want an attorney. I don't want an attorney because an attorney's never going to do for me what I need to do, because they're bar members and they protect the little wink wink boys club code. And even my own attorney is going to tell me you're fucking crazy. That doesn't happen. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you got no right. Oh, they've got every right to you know, to not inform you. Oh, and it's up to you to know. And, you know, steamrolled me right out of there without letting me get a half of a sentence out of my mouth. You know how long I'd prepared for court? How hard I had studied? And, man, I had my questions ready. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to go. Ready to go. So this is the thing, guys. My due process was violated. They don't have jurisdiction over me, and they know it. But who do you tell? Where do you go? Now that my due process has, like, where do I go? Who do I tell this to? As I'm doing more research on it, guess what I'm figuring out? That even though the judge didn't honor my 14th Amendment right, my 6th Amendment right, my right to due process, none of that shit, like, she'll never, even if I got a negative or an adverse decision and I lost my court case and I filed an appeal and I won, that judge, she has immunity. She would never, ever, ever face any ramifications whatsoever. Not by an appeal, nothing, you guys, nothing. This is how bad it's gotten, that the judges have complete and total immunity. They can do whatever they want. They can steamroll you. They can deny you your rights. It's bad. It's bad. And I'm like, you know, we can't just, as much as I want to keep it positive, as much as I try to, you know, keep my channel, you know, like I say, most of the time, you know, I'm all about, you know, we can meditate, we can manifest, we can bring, and we can, but we've got to see what's going on first. We've got to acknowledge, you know, manifestation and meditation and raising your vibes isn't about being totally ignorant and oblivious about what's going on around you or pretending like it doesn't happen and it's not there, okay? It's knowing it and then seeing what you don't want, seeing that contrast, and this is what we don't want, and then making our way towards what we do want. So what do you do? These senators, the judges, the lawyers, the banks, there's got to be a checks and balance system. We've got to care about what's going on with our country. These senators have been blatantly taking 2 weeks off every single fucking month while the rest of the country is in riots, is in shambles, and what are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? So, you know, I really wanted to stick to my guns with the court thing. You know, I'd love to go back there and just keep fighting this thing tooth and nail, just refusing to plea and really giving them a, you know, just a hard time, like, you know, just make it damn near fucking impossible for them to arraign me. Because how can you arraign me if I don't plea? You can't. What if I maintain my right to be silent, which means I don't even have to say my name. I go to court and just, oh, is Elizabeth Holmes here in the room? Are you Elizabeth Holmes? Hello, can you answer the question? Are you Elizabeth A. Holmes? Excuse me, hello? Your Honor, I maintain my right to be silent. Well, oh my God. How furious would they be, right? Threatened contempt. They'll throw you in jail. Again, steamroll you, you know? So everything in me wants to fight it, but we're not in a place yet where there's a place for me to go. You know, this judge has no danger of repercussion. She doesn't have to be held accountable for her actions like the rest of us human beings do. Almost every other human being on the planet, but not a judge. Apparently not a judge. Even the president of the United States can face impeachment if he fucks up. But not a judge? Anyway, what can we do? Write your legislators, write your senators. Let them know. Send an email. Like their emails are out there, you guys, for you to see. Like they're there. Send an email saying, hey, thanks to the internet, we're waking up. We are waking up out here. Thanks to, you know, us getting informed and informing each other, and we the people coming together and sharing our experiences and sharing knowledge, we are waking up and we are getting real keen to what's going on here. And you know what? We're sick and tired of us out here struggling while y'all are living the high life. And while y'all can make your own laws and rules, give yourselves right. How nice would it be if we could all go to work and give ourselves the fucking raise? You know what? I overspent a little bit this month. You know what I realized? I think it's been 6 months since I had a raise. I think, you know what? Hey Bob, you want a raise? Yeah, me too. You want to vote? Okay, let's vote it in. Let's get a raise. Hey Bob, you ready for another vacation? Yeah. We got these numbnuts over here paying for us, right? While they're in the fucking soup line. Let's take a vacation. This is what's happening. They are treating us like a bunch of invalid retards pieces of shit, pieces of garbage, who are we're basically just here to serve them, to go to work, make money for them, make money for the machine that keeps them all in power. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Please start sending emails and letting them know, you know what? I'm awake to this. I'm hip to what y'all are doing, and I want you to know, come voting time, I ain't voting for you. They'll start paying attention. They'll start waking up. They watch their inbox, okay? And to this, oh God, which one was it? Shit. It don't even matter. They're all the same. One of the senators was saying that another stimulus check and you know, keeping the unemployment, you know, whatever they call it, the America Workforce Rescue Act thing. Oh, that was proposed by Schumer in Wyoming, Oregon. Maybe that's what they're going to call it later. But anyway, they said that, you know, it's just bad. It's just causing us to print more money, and it just did it. But wait a minute, when the banks fucked up in the big housing bubble and they almost busted our economy, they got the big bailout, right? And you senators can give yourselves raises and stuff. It's okay to print money then. But when we, the people, when we need a bailout, it's too much to ask. It's too much to ask. Let me tell you something. This is why you need to be smart with your stimulus check. If you get it, you might not even get a second one. You might not even get your first one. You might not even get your first, I don't know. But what if we all took our stimulus checks and our unemployment rescue benefits and we invested it in the stock market, and we invested it into becoming self-employed entrepreneurs? And out of this COVID-19 thing, and out of this economy shut down situation, we came out of this with most of the workforce being entrepreneurs who have their own online business with more financial freedom and time home with their family. No more, what if these stimulus and the time off from work gave you finally the time to work on your passion and the money to take the time off and to maybe invest? Even, I mean, a course doesn't cost, you can get a great course for $1,000. You can get many good courses for free. You can get many good courses for $500, for $50, for, you know, there's so many courses out there, and you can become an entrepreneur too. Even if you spent $1,000, you get your stimulus check for $1,200, you spend $1,000 on education for yourself, on now you don't ever have to go back to your little 9-to-5 job, and you can be your own boss. This is how we take our country back. Send the emails out and show them, you know what? I'm not a dumbass. Because when you gave me my little bailout money, here's what I did with it. I put my money to work for me too. I became an entrepreneur, and I am living my dream. And then the more money you have, the more power you have, and the more change you can affect. Because let me tell you something, all lives matter. All lives matter. We all matter. And I don't know about you, but I am just tired of their bullying. For a cop to be able to sit on someone's neck with his knee in his neck nonchalantly for 8 minutes while this man dies. This man isn't even here to bitch on YouTube like I am right now. This man, his life is over. His life is over because of the arrogance of our police force, of our officials in power. They all think that they can do whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want, because they can. And whose fault is that? If you don't do anything about it, if you can't take the time to send an email, if you won't take your stimulus check and invest in your own future, it's your fault. There are no victims. But we've got to work together. I'm doing my part. I hope you will do yours. Thanks so much for watching. Listen, God bless y'all. I wish y'all the best. I really do wish y'all the best. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Do the right thing. Make the best decision from moment to moment. Once you have the information, you can make a better decision. You don't know what you don't know. So what you didn't know yesterday, you can't help that. But today, from this moment on, you can't say that you didn't know. God bless y'all. Namaste.